Okay, we always talk about our corner of the world, or what's happening in your corner of the world. So, the billions of people that are on the earth, let's just say that each one of those people have what we call their corner of the world. The problem even with that term is that a corner is seen as something insignificant back in the back away from the action, because it's my corner, it's my place where I live, where nothing matters, because it's just my corner of the world. But so the corner of the world isn't really accurate. What we really mean to say and need to say, what is happening in my world? What is happening in my world, and how big is my world? And that's what we're called to influence. That's what we're called to touch as we live each day to serve the Lord. And most of us will look at what our world looks like and still think it's insignificant, still think it doesn't mean anything. But as some of you have heard me say before, what you should do is make a list for 1 month of every person you talk to, whether it's a grocer, a bank teller, no matter who it is, a repair person, neighbors, kids, friends. Just make a list of everybody that you see in a month's time. You don't even have to talk to them, but the very fact that they touch your life means that you touch their life. And this is why that's important. If every one of us takes command and allows Jesus to be Lord through us in our world, that's what changes the world. And I'm going to tell you, it is not easy these days when you look at the magnitude of the problems, everything in our own government with out of control spending, Congress and the president making extremely unconstitutional decisions, which everyone is following. These issues actually make us a lawless society. And then you look at what's happening around the world. You look at the price of oil at $100 a barrel, and you think, what can I do? What can I influence? But let me tell you something. While the Democrats had to bus in and hire people to actually do the demonstrations in Wisconsin, the Tea Party movement was an absolute grassroots movement. There were mothers with 3 kids in grade school, all of a sudden thrust into national influence. You have fathers who just faithfully worked a 40-hour work week in a factory or as a construction worker, all of a sudden have national influence, not in their own right, but in the collective of all the people who have the same feelings and the same thoughts. And soon, these individuals, letting Jesus be Lord through them to the people that they talk to every week, whether it's 5 people or 50 people, doesn't matter. But we spend too much time downplaying the importance of who we are. We spend too much time downplaying the importance of our lives because we look around us and we say, what can we do? Well, I'm just one person. I'm just one homeschooling mom. What difference can I make? Well, the very fact that you're a homeschooling mom means that you're making incredible difference. If you raise them in the fear and admonition of the Lord, let them learn discernment, let them become strong and mighty, do you know what happens? These kids will rule the world. Where kids are brought up knowing the Lord Jesus, they are the ones who are the children of Zion. these kids will grow up to change the world. So you're not just affecting this generation, but the generation to come. What am I saying? Take control of your sphere of influence and bless, pray for, advise, encourage, gather. Help the people around you, no matter how few or how many they are. Help them be the kinds of people who can change their world as well. You are more important than you realize. You're more important than you think you are. And that importance comes from the fact that because Jesus is alive in you, you have something to say. You have something to contribute, and just not something random. You can take spiritual control of your world. And by that I don't mean casting out devils and rebuking this and claiming that, but just letting Jesus live his life through you, letting his life and love ooze through you to the people around you. That's how grassroots movements get started. Grassroots movements get started whenever folks like you and I are willing to simply take charge of our own sphere of influence, take charge of the area we live in, and literally turn our world over to the Lordship of Christ. And then when thousands of people and hundreds of thousands of people do that, you have things like revival and renewal. You have things like the Tea Party movement. You have a grassroots movement where people will vote according to the fear and admonition of the Lord. The world doesn't change overnight, but it changes one election at a time, one movement at a time, as we give ourselves to not being discouraged because we might feel so small and so insignificant. The grassroots movements around the world begin with you. Plant your corner of the world with the love of God and watch what happens. You'll be amazed. God bless you.